Hunters are very strong when it comes to Arc 3.0, but throwing in the ability to have infinite grenades and jolt targets at will turns up that lethality to 10. Well, today I'm going to check out this Hunter Arc 3.0 build with Shinobu's Vow, check out the Arc 3.0 setup, the aspects and the fragments, the weapons, the armor and the mods, so you can run around exploding enemies with infinite grenades and take on endgame PvE content with ease with electrified hunters in Destiny 2 today. Well, if you're new around here or find this useful, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below for all the latest Destiny 2 content and turn on notifications by hitting that bell. Roughly 98% of viewers who watch This Week in Video Games aren't subscribed, so subscribe today and never miss an update. Well, let's dive right into the build and check out the Arc 3.0 setup. So with our super, we're using Gathering Storm, with the grenade we're using Skip Grenade, and the melee we're using Combination Blow, and class ability I'm using Gambler's Dodge. For the aspects I'm using Flow State, so defeating a jolted target makes you amplified. While you are amplified, your dodge recharges more quickly and you're more resilient while dodging, and your reload speed is greatly increased. Then you've got Lethal Current, so after dodging, your next melee attack has an increased lunge range, jolts the target and creates a damaging aftershock, and damaging any jolted target with a melee attack also blinds them. For the fragments, I'm using Spark of Shock, so your arc grenade jolts targets. Spark of Ions, defeating a jolted target creates an ionic trace. Spark of Recharge, while critically wounded, your melee and grenade energy regenerate more quickly. And Spark of Resistance, so when surrounded by enemies, the player has increased damage resistance. Well, next up, let's have a look at the exotic armor, and here I'm using Shinobu's Vow. And Shinobu's Vow are exotic hunter gauntlets with the perk New Tricks, so improves the skip grenade, and you gain an additional skip grenade charge, and skip grenade returns energy when it damages targets. For the weapons next up, in the kinetic slot I'm using Outbreak Perfected. This one is an exotic kinetic pulse rifle, still one of the best in the game, but you can swap out any kinetic pulse rifle here really. Now, I like Outbreak Perfected because it's solid in many situations, plus we have unstoppable pulse rifles this season, and you can get this one from the exotic kiosk in the tower in exchange for materials. In the energy slot, I'm using Tarnished Metal. This one is a legendary energy scout rifle with a lightweight frame, meaning it has superb handling, and you move faster with the weapon equipped. Comes with the origin trait Right Hook, where dealing melee damage gives the weapon increased target acquisition and range for a short period of time, and dealing melee damage again extends that effect. In the power slot, I'm using Plank Stride. This one is an arc machine gun added in Season of Plunder. That's really good for DPS, plus it's an arc weapon, which you're going to need for a decent arc build this season. You can also use overload machine gun mods on this one, making it great for endgame content. Next up, let's have a look at the mods. I'm using Elemental Ordnance. Defeating a combatant with a grenade spawns an elemental well that matches your subclass energy type. I'm using Bountiful Wells, so elemental well mods that cause you to spawn elemental wells can now stack, spawning additional wells for each additional copy of the mod you have equipped. So I'm going to use a couple of versions of Elemental Ordnance, and paired up with Bountiful Well, that's going to spawn loads of elemental wells. I'm also using Font of Might, so picking up an elemental well that matches your subclass energy type grants you a temporary bonus to weapon damage, and then I'm using Unstoppable Pulse Rifle, Anti-Barrier Scout Rifle, or you can change that out for Overload Machine Gun, and therefore you can take on any endgame content with this build. Well, let's have a look at the gameplay loop. So you want to throw grenades, jolt targets, chain lightning attacks, get amplified, build up your super, unleash your super, and then you want to throw more grenades, and that means more jolted enemies. So this Hunter Arc 3.0 build is all about using your grenades to jolt targets. Given we're using Shinobu's Vow, then we're going to double up on grenades and double up on jolting opportunities. Given we're jolting targets, they become more susceptible to chain lightning attacks, meaning you can clear rooms of enemies with ease. So a quick reminder about jolt. So jolted opponents who are damaged periodically send out slivers of chain lightning to nearby enemies, damaging them in the process, and combined with Flow State, this helps our hunters get amplified very quickly. Combined with Arc 3.0 fragments here, like Spark of Shock and Spark of Ions, we're going to be improving things even further. Spark of Shock helps us jolt targets by using our arc grenades, and defeating a jolted target gives you an ionic trace, and that tops up our abilities, meaning more grenade energy, and you get that back very quickly, then throwing more grenades once again. Using Flow State, we're going to become amplified after defeating jolted targets, making us quicker and giving us damage resistance in PvE content. And here I've also picked champion mods, so we're going to be able to go into endgame content in Season of Plunder to take on Nightfall's raids, lost sectors and also dungeons. Outbreak Perfected is a useful exotic, still very powerful to this day, and that one is a rapid fire pulse rifle. Tarnished Metal, it's going to take care of barrier champions if you need to, and then you got a machine gun for overload champions, plus we got that machine gun buff this season, giving us more damage output in Season of Plunder. Yeah, the main benefit of the build are near constant or infinite grenades, so get out there, chuck grenades and have some fun with Arc 3.0 Hunters. Well, let me know in the comments if you've got any improvements for this build, and that is it for this guide for this infinite grenades with Shinobu's Veil Hunter Arc 3.0 build in Destiny 2, and as always, thank you so much for watching or listening. For more Destiny 2 content like this, hit that subscribe button down below and subscribe to This Week in Video Games, or you can check me out on Twitter at TWIVG Podcast. If you enjoyed this video, found it useful, liking and sharing the video would really help me out. Otherwise, check out the other videos on the channel. Thanks again, and I'll see you soon.